everyone, how are you guys? Happy Thursday. You guys are live here on the Dixie Belle Paint Facebook and Instagram page. This is our second time going live on Instagram as well. So welcome to all of our Instagrammers to this new idea of Dixie Belle being live on Instagram too. My name is Brandy. I am with Brushed by Brandy. I am a Dixie Belle Paint brand ambassador. And I come here every Thursday night and paint live with you guys. If you guys don't already, I hope you'll go give me a follow at Brushed by Brandy on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. But tonight I gave you a little sneak peek of what I'm working on my own page. And what I'm working on is glitter resin tops. And this vanity behind me is what I'm actually working on. You can kind of probably see the resin behind me. So that's an example, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to take this regular kind of not so great side table and we're going to put a glitter resin top on this. So I'm going to show you guys how to do a glitter resin top tonight. So I'm taking this small side table from exactly how I picked it up. I got this for $3, believe it or not. And I'm going to give you some of my best tips and tricks along the way. So my number one tip and trick for doing this is wear gloves, guys.
Really?
Yeah.
Facebook comments.
Oh, swipe to the side and they should, if they're gone, and they should reappear.
No. No. Hello. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Okay, so wear gloves, you guys. I picked up these vinyl gloves, and they're one size fits most. I don't know who the most is because they don't even fit me, and I have small hands. So these are like,
Looks like
I don't
they're
know,
for my
child
doctor.
size. They're super tight.
Reminds me, I gotta make an appointment.
Note to self. We're gonna have to get off so Sean can schedule on his calendar real quick. Hang on, we'll take care of that. Okay, so wear gloves, you guys. This is a messy process, and it's not that hard. It's a beautiful look, but it's not that hard. And then what I plan to do is I think we're going to use several different colors on this table. The first thing I need to do is I need to give this a base coat. So I've cleaned this table really well. And the color I'm going to choose as my base coat, you usually want to pick something close to your glitter color. Now I'm going to use several different glitter colors, so I'm just going to pick one of my colors. In this case it's Midnight Sky. And I'm just going to give it a single coat. And then while we're working on some other stuff, this single base coat will be drying for us. And then we can come back and pour our resin over the top of it. So this is a really, really easy step. This is Dixie Belle Paint in Midnight Sky. I debated doing Gold Digger, but the metallics can take a couple coats to get coverage, and so I'm just going to go ahead and do my Midnight Sky on my base. We're definitely going to incorporate some metallics into this. It's really hot here in California today, so my paint is drying really quickly. And what I'd like to have in my hand right now is a mister bottle. Can you go grab me that mister bottle? Go behind Daddy and grab it for me. Let me have my son grab me a mister bottle. I'm just going to give my paint a light mist of water, and that just keeps it moving because it wants to set up really quickly in this heat. And then I can get some nice even brush strokes, and I know this base coat of paint is going to set up really, really quickly for me. That's good because we want to put resin on top of it tonight. Okay, let me move this to the side, and then I kind of have a mess over here. Are you able to come over this way and see what I'm doing?
No.
Okay, great, that's perfect.
I'm hungry now.
You guys, my husband Sean is here tonight to answer any questions you guys have. My son Ashton is also here to kind of be my little helper tonight. This can take a lot of hands. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mix up some clear resin. Now let's talk resin. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to use the Dixie Belle resin in my live tonight. And then I went to their website last night and realized that the resin is no longer available, which I didn't know it was already gone. So I'm going to be using a Dixie Belle resin. But I want to give you guys an alternative that you guys can easily get that is absolutely a comparable choice. And that is, it's Aluminite, and it's called, it's their amazing coating resin, is what it is. So I can.
Oh, there's the waffle box.
Yeah. That's all my sparkles. Anytime the waffle box comes out, this is my sparkle box. It's all my glitters and everything is in there.
You know, I feel like you're neglecting this here. You're looking here, but not here.
Well, I only have one set of
Here?
eyes.
But not here.
Here. Okay, so I'm going to put up a link for you guys really quick.
Oh, man.
Let's see. We want to comment. All right. Well. All right. I'll have to do it after I get off. But I have a link for amazing casting resin and a coating resin and a code for 10% off for them. So hang out until after the live and I'll get that up. That glove is ruined. I took it off to touch the phone. Now I need a new one.
No glove? No
glove,
love.
no glitter, no glove, no resin. What's the saying? No glove, no resin. That is absolutely a hardcore rule. So we are going to mix up our salt. I swear, it says on the box one size fits most.
Fits most.
Fits most children. They're tiny, and my hands are sweaty too, because it's hot. All right, so there is a huge difference in types of resin. You guys have seen me a lot of times. I use casting resin. Casting resin is just for that. It's for making a cast of something. You're making a copy of it. It's casting resin. We are using coating resin tonight. What's the difference? Coating resin is clear. It's clear. Casting resin usually dries white and it dries quicker. So you've got your casting resin, which is white, dries quicker. And then coating resin, which is clear, takes longer to dry. We want the clear tonight. Since obviously we're going to put some glitter in it, it does us no good if it dries white. So it's a 2-part resin, and I'm going to take equal parts of each one. There's a part A and a part B, and I'm going to take a little measuring cup that has marks on it here, and I'm going to mix my part A and my part B into the cup. So I am going to probably mix myself a little bit extra because I'd rather have too much than not enough. Believe me, I have projects I can use it on. So that was part A. Now I'm going to come back with my part B. I mixed 3 ounces of that. I'm mixing 3 ounces of my part B. And that gets me to exactly the 6-ounce mark is where I want to be. Now, one huge thing about coating resin, you have to make sure it's stirred really, really, really well. It recommends on the box that you stir this for about 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do, let's see, you want to make sure that you pull it up from the bottom, and another good idea is to in fact take it, and once you've mixed it, I would say for about that 2-minute mark, take it and pour it into another container, because that takes everything from the bottom and moves it to the top, and then re-stir it again.
I'm so confused.
Put your part A and part B in. This is all just tips on how to get it mixed really, really, really well. That's all I'm trying to emphasize to you guys. So I poured it into a different cup. Put the bottom comes up to the top, and then I'm going to re-stir it again. So I'm going to hand this to my son and let him stir for a couple minutes for me. All right. Now my plan is I want to do a couple different colors, and we're going to do kind of an agate stone, a geode look is another word for it, is my idea. So I'm going to take some little Dixie cups here, and I'm thinking 5 colors. See how sticky it is? My hands are already sticky. Okay. And I'm going to take each of my colors. So some of the Dixie Belle colors that I've chosen, I chose cotton, which is just a pure white. And then we're going to do Pacific, which is a really pretty metallic. We're definitely going to have some metallics in with our glitter tonight, but that's a beautiful color. So I've got Cotton, Pacific, Gold Digger, which is a deep gold. I'm definitely going to do...
It just depends on if you can get it.
Everything's sticky right now. My Midnight Sky. And then I think we're going to put in a little bit of Moonshine Metallics in Caribbean, which is a lighter blue than the Pacific. So we're going to do both of those colors of blue. So I'm going to take, and normally I would just pour a little bit into these cups, but I want to take, and I'm going to measure a little bit. So this is a tablespoon, and I'm going to fill this about halfway full. I don't want it all the way full, just so you can see, it takes very little paint to tint your resin. This one needs to be stirred a little bit. Let me shake this up. So very, very little paint to tint your clear resin. So let me show you guys about how much of this I'm going to get in my cup. Because each of these, I'm not going to use very much of each color, but that's about how much. That's about how much I'm going to put in. I'm not even going to dump all that in. I put it in my cup and I filled the bottom of it, and even that's a little bit much. Okay, so let me put that color to the side. That was the Pacific. We wipe my spoon out a little bit. Let's come over to our Caribbean, which is the more teal color blue. Put a little bit of this in the bottom of my cup. You want to stand up and come see in the bottoms of the cups?
Oh, do I have to take cameras?
No, just you.
Do I just
want to
get
make
up
sure
and
you
see?
can see. The other hundreds of people that are watching, don't worry about
Don't
that.
worry about them. That's frivolous.
Yeah. Wipe my spoon out again. I'm going to come back with the gold digger. Make sure that's stirred up. Some of that in the bottom of my cup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like the gold digger. I think I'm gonna want the most of that.
I don't like those.
Yeah, you better not like those. It's a little late for that, don't you think? Wipe my spoon out again. Take some of our cotton, which is a white. Bang the lid on the floor because it wants to stick.
Right there with Dana. Getting anxious on these types of videos. Worry about like a cup falling over.
Oh, we're in my workspace, you guys. Cups done falling over out here. Okay,
yeah, let's go to the floor.
That's the least of the problems that have happened out here. This is my workspace is in my garage, and we built this space knowing that it was going to be messy out here. And so I have vinyl flooring that's covered in paint. I don't bother cleaning it. If I want in a few years, I can pull it up and replace it because it was really inexpensive. And this is our last one. This is the Midnight Sky. Okay.
Now, can you mix the resin in the Dixie cups, or does it kind of give way?
No, you can, but these are really small, and since you have to stir it so much, you know when you try to stir in a really small bowl, you're going to just splatter it out of the edges. So I don't think, I'm going to put the resin in here with the paint. You guys will see that in just a minute. And then I think I'm going to get 1 cup that I just used for glitter. So let's talk about glitter. I have all kinds of different glitter. Let me show you a couple options as far as glitter goes. When you buy glitter, you can buy, this is regular craft store glitter, which is more of a chunky glitter. This is a little bit harder to get your resin smooth with. The chunkier your glitter is, the more your resin is going to dip into the crevices when we pour that. So I actually really prefer fine glitters. So this is one example. This is Hemway glitter. You can put this in your paint, you can put this in your clear coat. It is a super fine glitter, and it comes in these pouches. This is available on Amazon, and I have this in a whole bunch of colors. That's a gold. I'm actually going to use this. This is a white glitter, and I'm going to add just a little bit of this to my cotton paint, so that my even my flat color paint has some sparkle in it. And then I'm going to take some gold. Let me find my gold. I mean, all these colors I've got. Here's a silver holographic. Here's a pink glitter. Here's a copper glitter. Here's a, looks like a white gold.
Way too much glitter.
We're gonna go, yeah, I do have way too much glitter. It's absolutely insane. This is a gold holographic glitter. So I'm gonna put this in with my gold digger paint. I'm using not very much glitter at all, you guys.
The total, Eva's got the total question.
What?
Total random. She loves your eyebrows. Are they real?
Oh my gosh, yeah, my eyebrows are absolutely real. I don't get them microbladed or anything. I just have Portuguese in my family, and it means I get good eyebrows. That's the only thing good I get out of that, but I'll take it.
Mom.
And then this is a teal glitter that I'm going to add into my Caribbean. So I just am sprinkling a little bit of glitter in the cup. Okay, how's the stirring going over there? All right, so now I'm going to pull back our resin from my son, who's been over here stirring diligently. And I'm going to take, and I can feel the cup is warm because it's a chemical reaction that starts happening when you put that part A and part B together.
But it doesn't break down the cup.
No, not at all. And I'm going to start pouring this in to each of our paint. Some of these have glitter in them, some don't. One of them has just glitter. So I'm just pouring roughly even parts in each one of these little cups. I'm getting short, so I want to make sure that I get enough, some in each of the cups. And so I'll just have a little bit less of each. I could mix more of the clear resin, but I won't worry about that right now. This one, I'm going to steal, let's see, I'm going to steal a little bit of resin from this cup. It's not mixed yet, so I can put a little bit in here from the ones that are more full. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to take and I'm going to start stirring my paint and my glitter mixture into my resin.
Mom, so we just got glitter the other day from Target.
Yep, we did. We went to Target and got glitter. So when you're mixing your resin and your paint, you want to make sure you have more paint in your cup than resin. Otherwise, it's predominantly going to be paint, and we want to do a resin pour. So there's one mix.
You want to make sure there's more what?
More, did I say more paint?
Yes, that's
okay,
right.
I want the opposite. You want more resin than paint. So even if you're doing small amounts like this, make sure that it's dominant on the resin, less on the paint. So these are our metallic colors, and they make a really pretty metallic resin.
That's a pretty blue, Mom.
That's a really pretty blue. I'm using the same stir stick. So this is our gold digger paint with the gold glitter in it. It's really pretty. I know camera, it's really hard to catch sparkle on camera. Can you guys see the sparkle coming off there?
A little bit
That
more.
gold, the gold is probably the most obvious. This is our white with the white glitter. The white is cotton, and I've got a little bit of white glitter in there. So even if you can't see the sparkle on camera, in person, I know that this table is going to sparkle when I'm done. We've got a little bit of white, 2 more to go. This is our Midnight Sky. I did not add any glitter to this one, although I do have some black glitter. We put black glitter in there. Who votes for glitter in the Midnight Sky? My son's hands just went up. Let me find my black glitter. Hang on, guys.
Same with me.
You want glitter too?
Yep. Glitter is pretty.
And that would be really pretty in cobalt. Here we go. So that's a black glitter right there. And I like these because they come in a nice quantity packet. I also have these in my Amazon shop. If you have a hard time finding them, I do have the Hemway glitters in my Amazon shop. The link to that is pinned to the top of my Facebook page. It's also in the link at the top of my Instagram profile. Whoops, a little heavy on the glitter there, but that's okay. We'll just have really sparkly Midnight Sky. That's a really pretty combo with the Midnight Sky, with the black glitter.
How pretty is gonna be, Mom?
Yeah, that's going to be really pretty. Okay, so that's well mixed. And then the last one I chose to do just clear. Let me wipe this stick off a little bit because I'm going into clear. I don't want to tint it. It takes very little paint to tint your resin.
I'm in the wrong crowd. There's never enough glitter.
Oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. This is just the glitter in the clear resin. So it won't be as opaque, but it's going to be extra, extra sparkly. I do wish I had mixed a little bit more resin. In the back of my head right now, I'm questioning, should I go ahead and mix more clear, or will this be enough? I'm going to err on the side of caution and give myself a little bit more clear resin. Hang with me, you guys. I'm just going to mix another ounce. One ounce of part A, 1 ounce of part B, and then I'll be able to extend these a little bit more. And then I won't feel like I'm running short. So this resin, most clear resins have a really long open time. I think this one has a 4-hour open life that I can sit and work with it. So I don't have to feel rushed to sit here and mix this and mix it with my paint. I have a 4-hour open time to work with this. Now, the consequence of that is it does take 72 hours to fully set up.
Yay.
So this is just a little bit of resin in here. I'm just going to top these off a little bit. These are all my paint colors. Just after mixing, I feel like I'm going to want more of each color. Alright, better safe than sorry, right? That's not usually my motto, but it should be.
Yeah.
Alright, and then we're going to do our pour, you guys, and this is the best part. So the ones that I topped off that were a little low, I'm just going to re-stir those. The other thing is you want to be really exact on your mixture of this resin. This is coating resin is not very forgiving. You want equal parts of A and B. So you want to make sure that when you're measuring to mix it, that you're pretty spot on. Otherwise it will not set up and you'll end up with just big sticky resin.
And what's the name of the resin?
So I'm using a different kind of resin, but it's not actually available. This was available through Dixie-Belle and it's not anymore. So the resin I would recommend, it's a Lumilite, who makes amazing resin, has a clear coating resin too. And I'll put my link up for that after we get off tonight. So now I'm just going to start pouring. And I think I want to keep my dark color around the edge. I'm going to mix in my lighter blues, and then I want the white a little bit in the middle, and we'll sprinkle some white around the outside. So the one thing you do want to make sure of is that you're working on a level surface. So for example, I work in my garage. My garage is not level because my garage wasn't poured level, it was poured for drainage. It's a garage. So I have to make sure that I prop my tables up a little bit when I'm doing this. This one I've got set a little bit sideways just so you guys can see it. Okay, I've still got some left in that cup, but I'm going to come back and I'll use it again. This is my Caribbean. Ashton, can you go behind Daddy and grab my hair dryer that's over here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, in between there, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of our gold. We'll come back and do another shade of blue. This is the I'm sorry, that was Pacific. This is Caribbean. I'm going to add a little ring of this in between the midnight sky.
Oh, you devil.
I have a little bit more of that color blue than I do the other.
Jason's trying to get me to do extra stuff.
Yeah, I need to level this table out. It's wanting to drift to one end.
He basically wants me to build you a platform that's level.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Let me get right on that.
Yeah.
Jinx.
We have nothing but time here at the Collinborn house. Okay, I have quite a bit of white, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in around the edge with some white.
So you don't need to use Floetrol.
No, not with the resin. The Floetrol would be if you're doing just a paint pour. But this is actually going to dry as a resin. Is it in that shelf? You know what? That blue beacon will work. That gets a lot of airflow. Okay, and then this is just the gold. I'm sorry, this is the gold with the Gold Digger paint. So it's a little more opaque. No, Floetrol is a paint extender. So it's when you want the paint to be able to pour like this, you can extend your paint. Now this one, the resin is our extender. So I don't need to add anything like that to it.
Oh, I just want to say thanks, Jason. Oh, I did not just wake up. Thanks, Sheila.
Oh, I told Sheila. Sheila said she's super excited about the glitter. That every time she said "woohoo," you have to scream it like in a high-pitched girl voice. I did make that commitment tonight.
What?
Is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, I have to?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do it.
What?
That's just embarrassing. So I'm just kind of mixing these together. Some of these I've got a little bit extra of. So this is my this is just the gold glitter in the clear resin. And I've got a little bit extra of this, so I'm just kind of filling in some spots with it, and then we're going to start tipping this table and making this resin move. All right, I'm getting to the end of these, so I'm just going to take my stir stick and I'm just going to clean them out onto my table.
Yeah, good looking out, Jason. Good looking out.
Why do I not trust that Jason is really looking out?
It's all after, yeah, it's your benefit and my blood, sweat, and tears.
Is it too low? Is that why? Okay, a little bit more of this. This is the gold with the Gold Digger paint. And then I'm going to have Sean pick up the cameras in a minute and show you guys the difference between the gold and the with just the glitter, and then when you put the paint in with it. Because you can see how it's a little bit more opaque. I'm just emptying out the last of what's in my cups.
Oh, I didn't, Sheila. I just didn't comment. Brandy can catch that one later.
What? Great.
No.
My apologies to Instagram tonight. All right, this is the Caribbean. We got a little bit extra of that. And then I have a little bit of white left. I want to put this in the very center.
That's right, Denise. Can't do that in front of the kids.
All right, we'll put that in the very center. And then did I get all my black? All right, this is my Midnight Sky with the black glitter. Let's get a little bit of that in there. Some over here. All right, start moving it around.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to take, and with my hands, I'm just going to start tipping the table. I want to start getting coverage everywhere. And the resin's just going to start running. Now this is a good place for you guys to see some of the difference in the colors too. You can see, for example, this is the gold in just the glitter. This is the gold in the paint. So let me give you guys a really good tip. If you guys want to do this for the first time and you're a little bit nervous, do you guys notice something about this table? It has a lip around the edge, and it makes it amazing to pour resin onto. It has this lip. I didn't have to tape off my edges at all. It's catching all my resin as it moves. If you're nervous about trying this for the first time, find a table or a piece. I have a few tables like this that have a lip around the edge of it. Now once I could use my fingers to move this around, but I like the definition and the color. I don't really want them to mix together a lot.
Not again, Sheila.
Looks like the earth.
Just when it hits the edge, I'm going to tilt it and let it go a different direction. If I feel like I want to assist it, I can take my popsicle stick and just kind of move it out to the edges. But it mixes really pretty on its own. I actually don't like to assist it a whole lot because I like to have the natural look of the flowing. And I'm going to hit this with a air gun in a minute. A blow dryer works great. I'm going to use a heat gun because my son didn't find my blow dryer that's out here. And I'm just going to let this hit this last edge, and then we'll move it around with the heat gun. See how nice this lip on the edge is? As soon as I saw this table, actually I picked this up because my son wanted something to paint. And I was like, nope, you got to let Mom put resin on the top of that first, and then you can paint it whatever color you want. With that lip on it, it's perfect for a resin pour. So I'm filling in this little corner right here. I'm just letting it pour over to there, and then I've got a spot over here that it's not. So let's go ahead and set that up, but it looks really pretty. All right, so I'm gonna take, this is actually a heat gun, but I like this heat gun because it actually gets really more airflow than heat, and it's got different settings on it. So I'm gonna set it and I'm going to start pushing some of these colors, especially the white. I really want my hair dryer. This isn't as good as I want. Hang on guys, I'm going to swap it out for my hair dryer. Because I want to move the resin. I don't want the heat, I want the movement of the air right now. What do you guys think so far though? Do we get hearts for this? It's really pretty. You better give me some hearts for this. Okay, so this is a hair dryer. Okay, so what I'm using this for is I can control the flow of the resin. Now remember, I've got that 4-hour open time, so even though you're going to think, oh my gosh, a hair dryer, I'm going to dry it. You're not drying it, but you can move it around. It's not going into this corner right here, so I'm going to help it a little bit.
A little assist.
There's a little assist just right up to this edge, and then this one too. Resin is self-leveling, so when I move it, it's going to come back and level itself right away. So I can use the hairdryer to move it, and can you see how it starts getting, you know when you see those resin tables that look like oceans with waves in them? It's because you use the hairdryer to push the resin out.
So only because this kind of isn't my bag, there's a lot of questions about Floetrol. Are there products that you actually use Floetrol with in situations like this?
You could use Floetrol just with the paint. Now that's just doing a paint pour. The difference is when you do a paint pour, you've got to come back and top coat it. This is going to dry as a coating of resin. This is my top coat right here. This is my clear coat. It's
all in one.
The clear coat. So I don't have to come back and top coat this. It's also going to self-level, and it's going to dry hard as a rock. This, do you guys know resin dries like a plastic?
Sorry, I had to laugh. Dana said back in the 70s, my uncle had a toilet seat that was a resin pour.
I still have a corner over here that I feel like doesn't have enough coverage on it. So I'm going to come back and get my resin moving that direction. This is my clear coat. This will dry hard as a rock. This could be the top of any furniture piece. So let me give you an example. Yeah, okay, so this is resin. This is casting resin. But can you see how it dries like a hard plastic? This is a clear version of that. And I just put the glitter and the paint inside of it, so it's going to dry to this hard plastic. Covers the top of my table. I don't need to top coat it at all. For example, this vanity behind me that I did the glitter top on, can you come over here with the camera?
Really quick, as far as the clear, does it have problems? Does it fade with the sun?
It can actually discolor in the sun. So if you put it outside, it can cause yellowing. If you put it directly in front of a bay window, it can cause yellowing. So this vanity top right here is a really damaged wooden top. I've got chipped veneer all over here. It's really chipped. Even if I painted it, it's going to look, it's just really, really damaged. So I'm taking advantage of this resin, creating a new top on here for me. It self-levels, it's smooth as glass, and it's got the glitter inside of it. I'm going to do it on the bottom here, but because it's two different levels, I don't want this to drip on the bottom. So I'm going to wait till this is dry, I'll take it all apart, and then I'll just do the base. And this whole top will be glitter. So that's what I would use it for. I would use it for when I've got damaged furniture tops. I mean, if you just want the decorative look, that's an obvious. So I still have like one corner that I cannot get my resin to flow into. I'm going to push it over there. So Floetrol you would use when you're doing a pour like this with just the paint.
Just paint.
Just the paint. It's an extender for the paint. It makes the paint run. I don't need to extend anything. My resin is my liquid. So then I could take, in the base of this, it's pretty, I could paint it in a black or one of the blues or anything like that. I might make the rim around here gold. Let me push this corner that I just assisted with my hairdryer.
So what happens when you get bubbles in this?
We're going to take care of our bubbles in just a minute. So once you have your design that you like and think is pretty and your coverage is good and I have it in all the directions I want, which I have another little corner here. I just want to make sure I get it all the way up to this lip, all the way around. So another thing I could do after I'm done, I could take just the clear resin and I can pour just a coat of the clear over this to kind of seal it in. Getting back to, someone had mentioned discoloration. If you put resin in the sun, it will yellow. It will yellow over time. So I would never put something like this up against your bay window or outside on your patio. It will have a tendency to yellow, particularly over whites. So I put Midnight Sky was my base color under here. If I would have put this resin over a white, you're going to notice the yellowing a lot more. Okay, so I like this design and pattern. The last thing I want to do is I want to come and get all the air bubbles out of my resin. Even if I don't see them, they're in there. Now, I didn't create any cells in this with silicone, but I'm going to take a torch. And if you've got a little cooking torch, you can use one of those. This is a larger torch. A heat gun will work. And this is just popping any bubbles that are underneath the surface. The heat pops the bubbles.
Does the size of the flame matter?
No. Like I said, I have a little one that's just, it's a kitchen torch for making what's that you burn?
Oh, yeah.
Help me out.
Yeah, that's
Creme brulee?
baking. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Or like lemon meringue when you burn the tips of it. Yeah. So I have a little one like that. It works fine. That works absolutely fine. But I asked John to get his torch out for me tonight, and he did not. So the flame popping the bubbles also makes the glitter more evident. Like it pops the bubbles and the glitter comes to the surface. You probably can't see, and you don't want to do this too much because you can burn your resin too.
See, now we're getting on into the good talk. Creme brulee, meringue.
Okay, so let's see how this looks. So I've got my bubbles popped, but I want you guys to see as up close as you can the movement in this resin and paint. It's starting to get a little bit thicker. I don't want to turn it because I don't want to change my design. I actually really like where the design is. But you can see how the hairdryer carried some of the white out into the blues over here.
Like
That's
a wave.
That's Dixie Belle paint in there. That's Dixie Belle cotton I used to color my resin with. So that's the cotton. I've got the gold digger, you can see in here, and that's got a little bit of glitter mixed into it. You can really see the difference between the Pacific and the Caribbean, the two shades of blue. And then what looks like black is actually my midnight sky. But every one of the colors has glitter in it. So in person it's really, really sparkly. It's got great movement in it. So I like this top. I'm going to leave this top. I'll wait till it dries. If I feel like it's got any imperfections, which it shouldn't, it should self-level just fine. I can come back and do just a pour of the clear resin. Now, I still have room in this lip right here, so even if I pour a really thin layer of clear just to smooth anything out, it's still going to stay in this rim. So if you guys have tables that have this rim on it, they almost call for you. They almost require that you pour some resin inside of it because it makes it so easy. This little lip over here, this is pretty dry in here. Let's see if I can fill some of this in. I've just got a few of these little edges that I'm not super happy about, so I'm just scraping the bottom of my Dixie cups to try to get some of these.
So if you don't have a lip,
you can tape it off. You can use like your frog tape and you can create a lip with tape, and that works just fine. So the other option is you can take it and, let me show you my vanity behind it. I taped off all along the underside and I let it literally run off the edges. And then I can come and I can either sand this off once it's dry, or I'll usually come while it's still sticky and just run my finger underneath there and pull that layer off. But I let it just run onto the underside on this plastic, and I'm just going to pull this plastic up and throw it away. And then I've got nice smooth edges because the resin naturally ran over it. So I don't have to touch that at all. So I'm putting this in a little bit different light. I'm just checking all my corners. Because remember, I've still got this working time, so I want to take advantage of it. If there's anything I feel like I want to fix or change, this would be the time to do it. If you use tape and you create an edge on your table, you may need to come back and just lightly sand that edge because it will slightly raise. I can see it even on this table, but it doesn't matter because it's still inside. It will slightly raise the edges, and then it can be sharp when you pull that tape off. So you may just need to take a piece of sandpaper and come out and just buff that little lip off the edges when you're done. I'm going to hit this little corner with the hairdryer. Okay, those were just spots I added a little bit of resin from my cups to where the edges didn't look filled. So now they go right back. It creates that ripple effect with the hairdryer, and then the resin just self-levels away. So as long as you're working in that open time, it will continue to self-level. If I want to, run my finger through this and change the design or whatever, I can do all that, and it will come back and self-level for me. So this is my top, you guys. I don't need to clear coat this unless I want to come back and put another coat of clear resin over the top. This is my top. Now, I use multiple colors here. The only difference is on this top, I just used the clear resin and I mixed in some glitter with no paint. So that's the only difference. You always want to make sure you put down a base coat of paint underneath though, because some of these colors can be translucent. Like if you put the glitter just in the resin, it's going to be translucent. You're going to see your paint underneath. The white could get a little bit translucent in thinner spots. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing about this. So was that fun? It was super easy, right? This one was a little more complex just because we mixed it into, what I do, 5 or 6 different colors. But if you're just doing one solid color like I did here, it's just one solid mix. I just mixed it all together in one cup, and then I poured it and leveled it out. I love it. I love it. So next on this table, we'll go ahead and get this base painted up. This is the base. It's got a cute base on it. Get the base painted up, something fancy. Probably put some gold in there. But this top is like glass. It's super level. It's gorgeous.
Take that, Jason.
Jason doesn't like it.
No, he was trying to get me to build you a platform.
He wants to buy it. All right, now that I'm done with my resin, I'm going to take these gloves off.
Make me a doctor's appointment?
Yeah, make sure a doctor's appointment. But that's it. So all you need for this project, you got your Dixie Belle paint, your clear coating resin, and some glitter. That's what we used tonight. That's what we used tonight. And then, you know, plastic cups, some popsicle sticks, and some gloves, and then my little bit of torching at the end. So I hope that was fun. Did you guys like it? All right, I'm going to pop off, you guys. We've been on for a long time tonight. And like I said, my name is Brandy. I'm with Brush by Brandy. I paint with you guys live every Thursday evening on Facebook and now on Instagram too. If you guys have any questions, feel free to pop on it and ask me those. I always appreciate if you tag me in any questions because I don't always see them if they come on later after the broadcast. I will put my link up for some clear resin, but I want to see if you guys play with this. Please let me see because I think it's absolutely beautiful. If you guys need to order any Dixie Belle paints, some of the metallics that we used tonight, those are available at the link I put above in the post. I always appreciate purchases made through my links because I make a small percentage off those, and that's what pays for me to come on here and do these videos for you guys. But I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here. Good night.